Hi again, guys. We're at the European Blockchain Convention in Barcelona. With me, we have Dorian Vincileoni. He's the business development manager for KuCoin for Latin countries. By Latin countries, we mean Latin Europe, Italy, Spain, France, Portugal. He will tell us more about his role in just a few seconds. So, Dorian, who are you? How long have you been in crypto? How long have you been at KuCoin? What's your background? Just tell us a little bit of yourself.
Okay. Well, I have a background as a PhD student in economics at first. I started being interested in crypto in 2017 and 2016, beginning of 2017. So that's not my first cycle. I've been through the last one as well. And at first I was working for Crypto.com as an ambassador on the French team. So I was following the project since pretty much its inception, when it was still called Monaco, all this. Then I joined Huobi, so a first major crypto exchange, starting to develop their brand awareness in Europe. And now KuCoin, since I believe actually the platform, the product is better, it talks more to me than Huobi did. And now with KuCoin, it's really about developing both brand awareness, but this already exists in Europe, and also real products that we believe are interesting to European users and that we hope to launch on the market pretty soon, and that I will talk to you about later on.
Okay. Do you have any specific goal or something for this convention? I mean, what do you want to take back to KuCoin after this European blockchain convention? Are you looking for partners, just brand awareness? You want to market some specific products? I mean, what is your specific goal for this convention in particular?
Well, actually for this convention, it's pretty much all of what you mentioned at once. Like at first, as a business development manager, I was more looking for institutional and retail ways to increase our number of users, brand awareness, etc. But at this convention specifically, I found many projects that actually want to be listed, want some kind of light, have been trying to reach KuCoin, because that's what we do, right? As the People Exchange, we are listing projects before they become a thing, and once they arrive on Coinbase or Binance, it means that it's already done. Like the project has already been well branded, people are well aware of it, so most of the rise has already happened, and that's why we're here. Like KuCoin as the People's Exchange, once again, like we go to projects when they are in their development stage, we see if they are actually in a sufficient development stage to start to be listed on tier 1 exchanges, and most of the time we're the first one to do that.
Okay. Well, we all know KuCoin. Or at least anyone who's been into crypto for more than 2 days knows about KuCoin. I'm a client of KuCoin myself. Now the question is, could you tell us something that maybe not everybody knows about KuCoin, that not maybe me as a client know about KuCoin? I mean, what is it that makes you like very unique value proposition? Or maybe, I don't know, just something that we don't know.
I think I have good news for you. So before this year, KuCoin had an approach to the market that was much more oriented towards people who already knew about crypto and who were ready to take the risk to go to smaller market caps. And this year especially, KuCoin, especially in Europe, has a real strategy for growth and for mass market, meaning that we are launching products like the KuCard, which is coming very soon, a debit card that will allow you to take your crypto straight from your crypto wallets on the KuCoin app, KuCoin exchange, web, whatever, and use it in real life, spend with your KuCard everywhere. Like our competitors, some of our competitors already have this kind of cards, and we aim to be better than them for this specific product, really reaching a level where, especially for European users, we believe it's important that they see the direct link between their crypto wallets and the spendings that they do in real time in their everyday life. So this KuCard has been announced a couple of days ago. The details are coming in the following month, and you can already join the waiting list to order.
It resembles like what you want to do is something like sounds familiar to just a regular user of their normal debit card that they have in their traditional bank, the type of user friendliness, but in the crypto space.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's really linking what you see as assets, investment assets, to your everyday life spendings. Like crypto is part of the world now. It's not going away anytime soon. And the more we integrate it to our everyday life, the more it becomes self-evident that you're not going to avoid it just by closing your eyes.
Now, talking about the current market context, I mean, we're on the verge of maybe just into it, crypto winter, so-called crypto winter. How does KuCoin, or maybe even yourself, approach these market conditions? How does this change, or maybe not because you were already prepared for it, but how did this change your strategy for the coming 1-2 years? And what is the major challenge for an exchange like KuCoin in the current circumstances?
Well,
Because when everything's going to the moon, everybody's happy, right?
Exactly.
But now is when the real challenge begins. So
Exactly. In bear markets we build. That's what they took as a motto for this convention. I believe there is nothing more true about bear markets. They just remind you that excesses going up are self-correcting all the time. Like there is no going to the moon without crashing afterwards. And stronger projects, like strong and let's say serious projects, prepare for that. KuCoin is prepared for that. As I said, even myself, I've been through more than one cycle, so this already happened and will happen again, most probably, most likely. So yeah, you prepare in bull markets, you prepare for the next bear. Like that's how it works. It's not like you arrive in the bear market and suddenly, oh, this is like so unexpected that we have to close shop, and just our users are our most, well, number one priority, right? Like preserving their assets, preserving the safety of their investment is what we do. And because of that, we have a responsibility towards them, and we like that's our target number one. Make sure that they know that their assets on KuCoin are safe.
Okay.
Investments are safe. It's a bear market, it's a bull market, no problem for us. It's the same thing.
Okay. Now, one tricky question, like, all right, for the people that work in the industry, you know, I mean, we know what blockchain is about, we know what cryptocurrency is about. So for us, it's like just another day at the office. But thinking on the mass adoption, like all the people outside of the crypto industry, which is the majority, like about 90% of the people. How do you think is the best way to mass adoption? Like, you know, there's a lot of thought in the market. You even have the Christine Lagarde from the Central European Bank saying that these are all Ponzi schemes. So then someone who's at home who was considering to maybe become KuCoin's client, do their first investment in cryptocurrency, then turns on the news and starts to listen to all these things like Terra crashing, Christine Lagarde saying this is all a Ponzi scheme. So how do you see that in particular? What can an exchange like KuCoin, a major company in the industry, do to help in the mission of mass adoption?
Well, I think it's mostly about educating,
But
giving
how?
the right information.
But how?
Like we have a blog. We always publish news about what's going on in the market, trying really to explain the mechanisms behind what's happening. And the thing is that it's true that during bull markets we have this tendency, especially new retail investors, they have this tendency to just buy in pretty much anything without doing their own research as first. And the whole point of us as an exchange is really to educate our retail investors, because we are not interested in retail investors who just come in, lose all their money, and then never switch on our app again. Like, we want long-term investors. That's why actually having more retail investors in a bear market is more important than during a bull market. You have people who are here to build, people who have a long-term vision, who know that this cycle, well, it's a cycle, like there will be others. And so our mission for this mass adoption is pretty much about really giving the right information to people. As you said, there is FUD. Like the UST even gives, the UST crash actually gives even more food for thought for people who say that there are lots of Ponzi's around. It's true. Even stable coins, if you don't inform yourself on how stable coins work, how different types of stable coin work, right? Like there are the fiat backed, like USDC will never have what happened to UST for very technical reasons.
Yeah.
There are thanks to
The collateral, basically.
Exactly, the collateral. Like, and the fact that so many people considered a non-collateralized stablecoin as something that they could put their life investment in, it also tells you something, right? Like, the information is not at a level where it should be for retail investors on the market, and maybe not only retail investors actually. So it's pretty much this. Like, now that you have time during a bear market that will probably at least last a couple more months. Like, get the right information, really learn about how these stable coins work, what are the projects that you are interested in, that you want to invest in, and why. Like, what are the tokenomics? Or what are you buying technically? Like, what are you putting your investments in? And yeah, this is our main goal as an exchange, to really educate not only our users actually, users in the whole worldwide, you know. And other exchanges are doing the same thing, because we, like our competitors and we are in the same situation. We don't want our retail investors to get wrecked. We don't want, like that.
Yeah.
That's our mission, to prevent them from living through these scenarios.
As a business development manager, you focus on B2C, like the user side of it, or you actually focus on attracting projects and tokens to KuCoin for listings?
Pretty much all of it.
All of it?
Yeah.
So then I have one last question for you.
Yes.
Since we're in a bear market officially, have you seen an important decrease in the amount of projects willing to get listed? Everything is the same as before? It's more or less...
To tell the truth,
yeah.
It's pretty much the opposite. There is much more projects who want to get listed right now. Probably there is a sense of urgency, but which is not well reasonable, because you know, it's not a good idea to get listed in the middle of a bear market. It's better to be listed when retail and institutional investors are not so fearful of tomorrow. So, but right now, tons of projects who didn't have this sense of urgency maybe a couple of months back, now they have it, and they absolutely want to be listed right now. And it's very telling. We are compelled to freeze some listings at the moment, because too numerous, and the good projects, we don't want to send them to bloodbath, right?
True. So then, thinking on a project that gets listed at KuCoin, you know, sometimes projects they do the public sale of their tokens. Okay, fantastic. You get listed on KuCoin, great news, but that doesn't mean necessarily that there will be traffic and there will be liquidity. I mean, yeah, you have listed your token, but if no one wants to buy it, you have a problem. So, what's your approach to solve that problem? And you provide them with market making. How do you solve this situation? Like, okay, I'm listed, now what?
Actually, most of the work is done before the listing. Like, we really encourage the tokens, the projects that we are working with, to get a strong community, a strong sense of community among their community, engagement. People who are actually holders, who believe in the project long term. That's the first basis. If they don't have this, generally anyway, we won't list them.
Okay.
And even with that, all that work beforehand, the flat line is still like a threat that they need to consider. And unfortunately, like, this market is very volatile. There is lots of uncertainty, even more during a bear market. This risk will not go away. We have to be perfectly honest here. Like, this risk will not go away. Every project, when they like expect to be listed, manage to be listed, they know this. It's part of the deal. But our whole work is to work with them beforehand to make it as little as a probability as it can be.